Story time of how I got pulled over by undercover cops. I wasn't driving them. Me and my ex were on a break, but I was just trying to hang out with him at the time. I don't know. Don't question me. So me and my friend went to go pick him up, and he's like, oh, let's go pick up some weed from this guy. But so we get to his house, and he's like, oh, I don't have any weed. We have to go get it from the plug. Mind you, this guy and me had some past history, but I didn't want to tell anyone because I was already embarrassed about it, and I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want to read between the lines, you can read between the lines. And this happened whenever me and my ex were on a break, so I didn't want, my ex to look at it weirdly. It was a whole thing. But by break, I mean we had broken up. We weren't planning on getting back together, but after this whole situation, we kind of got trauma bonded. So, yeah, I blocked him after that because it was not a good thing. So we pick up this guy, and then we're driving to the Plug's house, and my friend, swerves on accident. I don't know what happened, but, we were fresh drivers. We were both 16, so I didn't even have my license yet. And so the cops pull us over, but it was a regular street car, and they turned their lights on, and we're like, oh, fuck, we're screwed. He goes up to the back window and knocks on the door, because he was watching this man. So basically, long story short, he pulls him out of the car. I have, video footage of this, but I'm not gonna, post it because I don't want anyone else involved in this story to have their information out there or anything. But the cops were being extremely racist. Both the guys who were involved were black, and both the girls involved were white, for context. And they told me they were yelling at me, and they said, he SAs, but they said the R word, you know what I mean? I don't want to get banned. Girls just like you. And then I immediately start bawling my eyes out. I'm freaking out. I was already freaking out to begin with, but I was not trying to show emotion until just then that I started bawling. Mind you, we're filming this whole interaction because there's two black guys involved and they are raised to do stuff like that. Anyways, after all this, the cops were trying to say that my ex at the time, or my ex now and at the time, was just like his friend and he was going to do the same things and we should not be hanging around him. They tried to get us to leave him there, and then they tried to escort me home because I was crying, and I was like, no. And we had weed on us, probably at least 3 grams, and at the time, now you have to have a whole ounce on you to get in trouble, but at the time it was less. And we had nicotine, and they didn't do anything about it. They just wanted him. It was weird. But then he got bailed out a week later, so that was crazy. And then after that, me and my ex got back together, even though we were in a toxic, abusive relationship, and he had not even broken up with me the first time. He just cheated on me and then ghosted me, and then ended up in the mental hospital. So I was like, oh, I feel bad. And then after this situation, I was like, I feel bad. And then got back together with him for a fucking year, and that's when it got even worse. So don't do stuff like that. Never rebound it, and never get back with your ex. It's not a good thing. Moral of the story, though, those cops, if they would have waited, they would have gotten the bust of their lifetime because we were literally on the way to the Plug's house. But I'm really, really glad they didn't, because for my case, for everyone involved's case, for the Plug's case, he was just selling weed. It's not anything serious, and we were all in high school for the most part. I mean, the guy, the R-worder, was not in high school. He was 21, and everyone, him and another guy convinced his grandparents that I was of age when I was 16 years old, because they were like, she looks young, she should not be over, because they probably knew what kind of person their son was, but didn't even teach him to be a better person. I'll shut up, but yeah, there's a web, and it's tangled, and